The tabletop takeaway.
Game mechanics on display.
Three designers share the stage.
Pick a genre and we'll play.
The tabletop takeaway.
Welcome back to the Tabletop Takeaway. I'm Trevor Muller-Hagel.
I'm Ananda Gunaratna.
And I'm Charlie McCarran.
And today's episode is going to be our wrap-up of auction games. We played No Thanks, Cyclades, and Indonesia.
Yeah.
Fun series. This was good.
Yeah. I mean, you know, in the past, I have thought that auction games were not that great, but there's some good ones.
There is, and you know, it's all about what you're thinking about for the auction. You know, normally for auction games, my brain immediately goes to Monopoly when someone is auctioning off the thing they don't want to buy.
Yeah.
And then you do that auction, which is not super exciting, but it's how you get stuff not on your turn, so you want the stuff. But yeah, I normally don't think too much about auction games, but these were actually all very interesting. And like No Thanks had a lot of cool different mechanics around it. That, you know, an inverse auction where you don't want the thing. I really appreciate all these.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so many different types that it kind of blurs the line between, like, what is an auction? Is it you have to keep ramping things up, or you maybe do a one-time bid, or like everyone has a secret bid and reveals? But what do we say? Like, is it you're auctioning off a particular thing that everyone is trying to get?
Everyone is trying to...
So when people are trying to figure out how much to value an item, and whoever places the greatest value on it gets it.
Yeah.
Generally, I think.
What's hard with No Thanks is that it's kind of inverted too. But yeah, generally for auctions is that you're trying to get it in the most opportune time for yourself.
Whoever wants something, you want it the most, you're willing to spend the most resources, you get the thing.
Mm-hmm. And it might be actions or like one interesting one. Once we started talking about different kinds of auctions, I was thinking about Rising Sun. And that one is really interesting in how battles play out, because the battles, you are spending coins in different sections, like 5 different sections behind a screen for one battle. And some of them are like just like your strength in the battle. It's been a while, but one of them is like if you lose the battle, you get something. One of them is like add a troop. One of them's like, there's like 5 different things that happen in order. And so every battle is this like interesting bidding on what you think you want to do in that battle. And then you reveal, and it's like, haha, I tricked you. I wanted to lose that battle after all.
Well, that makes me think, of course, of the combat system in Dune, which is basically an auction battle. Both players dial some number of troops on a wheel. You reveal the wheels, and you add your leader to your troop count, and whoever has the higher value wins. But what makes the auction in Dune so interesting is that if you lose all of your troops, even ones that you... If you win, you lose as many troops as you dialed. So if you have like 10 troops and you dial a 7, you lose 7 troops. If you lose the battle, you lose all of your troops. So if you had a 10 troops and you dialed a 4 and you lost, you lose all 10 troops. Yeah. Which makes battles very, very vicious. But
so why wouldn't you dial in all 10 troops?
Because you'd lose all of them if you won.
Well, you'd probably dial in as many as you can and logically win the battle. Because troops plus leader, if you know your opponent can't beat that, then you would dial whatever can't be beat. But this I think is where... So there's this variant called the Advanced Spice variant, which it's an official variant. It's from the advanced game. In the basic game, it just works like I said. You dial the troops, you add the leader. There's some treachery cards to try to kill the opponent's leader. But that's basically how it works. And the Advanced Spice variant, which is for some reason not very popular among people, but basically the way it works is in battle, your troops count as half strength. unless you pay spice to support them.
Oh, wow.
So, for example, if you have 10 troops and you dial a 4, if you don't support your troops, you have to lose 8 troops.
Oh.
And if you do support your troops with 4 spice, you only have to lose 4 troops. And the reason that I think this is a very good variant, the reason I think it fixes the tendency of battles to be just completely just victory is Pyrrhic, everyone dies, it's a bloodbath. The reason it fixes it is because you're also paying spice, which is disconnected from the troops, you might choose to dial less even knowing that you'll lose all your troops because you can pay less spice to support them.
Right.
So like you might be, okay, I don't think I can win this battle. I'm going to dial a low number and not pay any spice. But that means your opponent can think, okay, I think they're going to dial a low number and not pay any spice. So I'm going to dial a lower number than I otherwise would. And so I feel like that gets it back to the
more interesting decision.
Yeah.
The
more interesting mind game of, how much can I actually bid?
Yeah.
Because you also have to consider how much spice am I paying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think one feature of auction games that's really nice is unknown information about and kind of risking it in your auctions. Because I think the auction style that tends to be the most boring, I guess I'd say, is the kind where you just keep going around and increasing, and there's no, it's basically just go until someone decides like, nah, I'm going to stop, and you win. Versus like, if you only have one chance to bid, it can be way more tense. And also, if you don't know the resources that your opponent has, can be, important for that kind of tension.
There's definitely, you want to have a good sense of push your luck in those cases so that you have like this sense of unknown. And so you're trying to like find that magic number that can help you succeed while still not overextending yourself with your resources.
And I do really like the auction games that encourage you to put out your best bid first. However that is, whether it's whether it's an Evo style bid, like in Cyclades, where you might not be able to bid again on that track, so you want to go there first, or a simultaneous reveal bid where everyone bids at the same time, so you have to bid whatever you think the right amount is. I agree. The auction where you go around one at a time, that's just very painful.
Which honestly, it sounds like Indonesia would have that if it didn't have the auto bid feature.
Because we're using the app.
We're using the app.
Yeah.
So like that makes it really nice that you're like, what, I want to start at 100, but I'd stop at 250.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just another one just came to mind. Skull.
Oh.
Also.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you're
That
kind
is
of-
an auction
you-
game.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you go
even think
around
about that.
simple.
Whoa.
Hard for three
like,
players, but
you're only going up basically like one number at a time among the group.
Sometimes two, and then people are like, what?
Yeah, and in that game, you're bidding to see how many roses you can reveal without revealing a skull, and people have their secret.
Kind of like liar's dice in a way.
So the really interesting thing about Skull is that your bid is also revealing information
about what you have.
Potentially.
Because if you put a skull on top of your stack, the only reason that you would bid anything at all is as a bluff.
Right.
Because you have to reveal your stack first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Which can make you feel real clever when you
trick
bluff
someone else.
out.
Yeah. Oh,
Because they choose from. So if you make a bid, people think you're safe. Your pile's safe because they're going to have to then choose which pile to draw
Or
from.
they'll learn to
Right.
not trust you when you betray that trust.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, Skull is a super interesting one just because of how the information is tied into the bid. That reminds me actually of another game I'd forgotten, which has a really interesting thing that's being auctioned, which is Conspiracy. Not the social deduction game Conspiracy, the board game Conspiracy, which I think it has a new name now, but it's a game where there's 8 spies. And no one controls them. Anyone can move any spy on their turn. And there's a briefcase in the center of the board, and you're trying to move the briefcase to your side of the board. you can move any spy, and you can pay money to spies in your secret spy checkbook. And when someone else moves a spy, you can challenge them to try to stop them from moving it. And the way the challenge works is you take turns revealing amounts that you've paid that spy. And when one person refuses or is unable to reveal a higher amount, they lose the challenge. So what's being bid is not the money, it's the information about how much money you've given the spy. Because you have a limited amount of money, and it's also possible to have spies assassinated, which destroys your investment. So revealing that you've bid too much can be dangerous. Because you might need, like if you've paid a spy a large amount of money, you might still need them later. So you might not want to reveal all that you've paid them.
That reminds me of I tried making a game where information was what you were paying for, and it was like themed about used cars, and one person could look under the hood and see like how much mileage it had or something like that. And then one person would look, they'd make a bid on that car, and then someone else could pay them to also look. And so it didn't work that great, but it was kind of interesting to see what would happen when it was like you could try to bluff someone and be like, this is a really good car, I'm going to bid a bunch, so that other people will pay to find out. And like one of the cars was just a fiery wreck underneath. So you could, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one. This is a keeper.
Yeah. Bidding on information could be really cool.
Well, and again, I feel like that has that little bit of that asymmetry, where you have this information, people can pay you for that information to have the share of information. Mm-hmm. And like having these different kind of roles emerge, I think is really cool for these kind of auction games, because it kind of gives people another reason to weigh different things differently. And so like, going first in Indonesia is going to be good for some people sometimes, but not always.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, yeah, it's really interesting how that can kind of create emergent behavior.
And maybe that's where that car game didn't work so well, because there wasn't a different reason for other people to value that information differently, because it was all just pretty random. Like,
Yeah.
There's a car. I didn't know nothing about it. Why should I pay you?
I need a car that has 300 horsepower.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I think that is maybe that's part of the secret to making a good auction game, is making sure that people value what's being bid on differently, depending on their position in the game.
Yeah. Which we just played an auction game yesterday too.
Adventure Mart,
yeah. It's an interesting one.
It is really interesting, and it's so funny because that's such a cutesy art, but like some of the mechanics give it pretty deep shenanigans. Yeah, but I really dig it because as you develop almost like specialties in different guilds, you'll get better bonuses to those adventurers, and they'll want to come to your shop more. We'd go into detail, but basically you're all shop owners trying to sell goods to adventurers who are all cute little animals doing cute animal things, but with medieval fantasy weapons. But yeah, it's a cool idea. I like it.
That one was a little bit in the realm though of like, everything's good for everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't.
We didn't finish the game. I think we got through 3/5 of it or so. But yeah, it didn't feel like we had a lot of good emergent like routes to go. It was more like, ooh, that's a good item, I want it.
Yeah. Where we're just like a little bit more of that, like, ooh, that one's really good for me now.
Yeah.
I should go for it. Yeah.
Charlie, actually, I remember we were working on an auction game, weren't we?
Yeah.
A while back, where there were like different types of auction, and you had a bunch of cards that came up, and each card you bid on it using a different resource, or
and because that concept's real fun, that you're auctioning different things in the game.
Well, you're paying with different things
For the things being
auctioned.
I thought there could be different categories like, oh, I'm paying with time,
Yeah.
whatever time means, or I'm paying with, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
What
think-
was the video game that was inspiring you? Like the
In-
Blood and Bones?
Inscription.
Oh,
yeah. Just the
yeah.
idea of having different resources with very different implications
Yeah.
that you're
Yeah.
using to pay for things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so far all the auctions we've talked about are using the same resource, which is essentially like money.
Right.
But yeah, putting other things in the pot is interesting.
Here's just a thought. What about an auction game that has different types of auctions and you bid to determine which types of auction you want to use?
I don't think so.
Okay. I tried.
Very meta.
Very meta.
That could be in your board game creation.
There we
game.
go. Yeah. The board game creation game about making board games. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys have any ideas after this series for like new auction games you'd want to work on?
I'd almost lean towards bringing auction more into games as opposed to being full auction games.
Sure.
Things like turn order or action selection, being able to bid on actions. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dutch auctions are awesome.
Dutch auctions.
yeah. No, it just made
Yeah.
me think. There is actually in 5 Tribes is an auction for turn order at the beginning of the turn,
Okay.
which in that game is pretty interesting because the whole board, everyone has access to do anything anywhere. So it really is like,
Turn
ooh, did
order.
I
Oh,
see
wow.
something good yet? I'm going to bid to go first because I think I'm going to see that. But the thing is that board, there's so much going on that even if you think you saw the best
Yeah.
thing, someone will find something else that's better. But
Just
yeah.
another game as a callback, which has an amazingly good auction system, which we've talked about before, is the Great Zimbabwe.
Oh, yes.
Specifically, the Generosity of Kings phase, where you bid cattle to go first, but
Oh, right.
you're paying the cattle to other players. I thought that was an amazingly thematic auction because it combines so much. It's like the idea that a king should be generous, and the way that you show your greatness is by giving gifts to other people, and it also combines Mancala.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, obviously
You give one to the next person in line, and then
Yeah.
if you still have some left,
You distribute the things in order to each space. So it's so thematically appropriate, and it's such a great way to choose the turn order. And it's so cool that once again the resources that are being auctioned are being distributed to people.
Right.
I think. In fact, I think maybe another thing I'm thinking about auction games is that just don't put the resources in the bank that you're auctioning. Do something with them. Give them to people. Earmark them. Put
Have
them.
them be victory points at the end.
Yeah,
What-
put them into a pot, and you land on free parking, and you get all of the stuff everyone's been. Just
Where do I know that from?
Just do something other than putting them back in the bank,
Yeah.
because putting them in the bank is boring.
Yeah.
how about this? When you bid, you're actually like changing your goals for the game based on what you bid. I don't know how that works, but that just made me think of,
Yeah,
sure, you made it harder on yourself to, maybe because I'm thinking of Great Zimbabwe too, like
the victory point.
the victory point
Marker.
thing keeps getting harder and harder.
You could almost have like this weird betrayal mechanic too, where if you don't bid enough, then you're not contributing to the group enough.
Yeah.
And then like, now you're getting
actually
pigeonholed into a role.
That's kind of like the passive bidding mechanic in Catan Cities and Knights.
Okay.
Where you need to,
Oh, yeah.
and that one's interesting because you're bidding over a large number of turns in what you choose to do with your knights, as opposed to like, okay, it's now time to do the bid. It's like, okay, no, the barbarians are coming. We need to get our knights set up.
Yeah.
So it's a very slow motion bid that happens while you're doing other things.
Yes, if you're just being selfish, then that says a lot.
Yeah, it's like a passive bid. And in that one, if you don't contribute and the barbarians sack Catan, then you do get punished for it.
Right.
Because you lose your city.
Interesting.
I like the idea of slow motion bid.
Yeah.
You could, it's
Over
like
multiple rounds.
over turns, and you could be bidding on multiple things over those rounds, and eventually,
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Another bid system. There's so many bids we could talk about. The Le Havre, what would you call it? Reverse Dutch auction, where in Le Havre there's piles of resources, and they start out small, and they get larger and larger and larger. And on your turn, you can either take an action with a building, or you can take one of the resource piles. So it builds up until someone takes it.
Agricola has that too as a worker placement game.
That doesn't surprise me, since the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah, the Dutch auctions, reverse Dutch auctions, passive auctions.
Indy 360. No, wait, that's a skateboarding move.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's been a long day of playing games.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we do need takeaways.
Takeaways for
Auction games.
I think have I used this? I don't think I've used this yet. This series. I think my takeaway from auction games is that you should do something with the money that you're paying in the auction. You shouldn't give it to the bank. Always find something more creative to do with the money that is being spent in the auction.
I think my overall takeaway is maybe having hidden values of what people have as resources for an auction makes it more interesting. Combined with maybe just like you only get one shot at the bid.
Oh, like Indonesia style.
Yeah, I think that works pretty well.
Or not necessarily Indonesia style, but
And it
just
also
Almost like a silent auction, except you see the results before you bid.
Yeah. And coming into it, though, I think I did have a preference for that. You mentioned it as Evo style bid from Cyclades and the game Stockpile, which I really like, where you have to hop around to different things.
Yeah.
When you're
once you
booted.
get outbid.
Yeah.
well,
And multiple things to bid on
yes.
at a time is interesting.
And the Evo style bid, I mean, it is almost one bid. Like sometimes you'll get to bid again, but you can only count on having one bid in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So for my takeaway, I really want to kind of emphasize that the auction doesn't have to be the whole game. And I think for some reason, whenever I think auction games, I automatically think like you're, going around bidding in a circle over and over again, and that's the whole game. And that just sounds so boring to me. I don't want to play that. But you can do a lot with auctions, even in subtle ways. And so go ahead and try different auctions, especially if you don't have an auction game. See if there is an auction mechanic that you can work into it, because there's a lot of different opportunities for auctions to exist. The Dutch auction is one where we see it a lot in marketplaces where, you have kind of the conveyor belt style where as it goes down, it gets less and less in value, and then it makes it more and more appealing. And so having these different things to help balance out things for players and kind of create more asymmetry is really nice, at least for those choices.
Okay, we can't not mention, I just remembered, one of the craziest bidding games is QE.
Oh.
Where
you
are bidding...
Quantitative easing.
I don't know if have you guys played that?
I've played with Peter.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but I know about it.
Yeah, so
Thank you, Peter, for introducing me.
Yeah, the funny thing about that one is you're bidding money to get different things in the middle of the table. It doesn't really matter. But the money is just imaginary. It's how much do you want to bid?
$5.
And then
$5,000.
Yeah. You can bid any amount. You write it down on this thing, and then you pass it to the auctioneer.
Yep.
And it could be like 5 million from the very get-go.
5 trillion.
If you wanted.
5 quintillion.
And and so then they don't say how much won the bid. They just say who won.
Yep.
And so, but the auctioneer learned what the maximum bid is. And the whole thing is you can't be the person who spent the most money overall. Otherwise you lose.
Yep.
And it's, just
That's
crazy
a wild
because it escalates so quickly.
As soon as you find out what other people are doing,
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
Oh, well, they bid
You're-
5 million. I
yeah.
just have to bid like
6 million.
6 million. I'll probably be
And they've
okay.
already upped it to 50 or
Yeah.
500.
Yep.
Oh no, I keep doing fives.
Well, yeah.
555 million.
Yep. So yeah, that's a funny one. We've been talking about like, oh, you know, you always have resources that you're paying, but that's only your imagination and your risk level.
Yeah. I feel like push your luck goes hand in hand with auctions.
Yeah.
It's, it's auctions
What else?
are push your luck in many
Right.
ways.
Yeah. I feel like we just said push your luck works well with something else too.
Memory games.
Memory games, right.
Yep.
Also, probably logical induction games.
Oh yeah, like I think we talk about
If you're just guessing at
Yeah.
what the answer is.
there should be some kind of push your luck. Like if you do 5 guesses, then this is the cost of 5 actions. Like okay, I want to do one more because I think I can get it or something
Well,
like that.
I think the reason push your luck works well with those two in particular is because those are games where you're trying to do something in your head.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to you're trying to solve a puzzle or remember something in your head, and you might be right, but you might also be wrong.
Right.
And so it's a question of how sure are you of your own cognitive abilities.
Not.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we've learned there's a lot of auction games, and we'll probably
Push
keep
your
thinking
luck.
of them while we are after we stop recording. But
Oh yeah, that has an auction mechanic too. Yeah.
but with that, let's wrap it up. Good series, guys, and we'll see you for the next one.
Hey, thanks for listening to The Tabletop Takeaway. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. So please tell your friends and visit our website at thetabletoptakeaway.com, where you can suggest games and mechanics for us to cover next on the show.